If you need some inspiration or just want good company, whatever you are looking for, you'll find it here indeed, in meaningful mornings. Meaningful mornings. Meaningful mornings.
Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. The three regional centers that I serve are Albany, Cleveland, and Niagara. In our working committees, I am trying to establish a Ashraya committee. This is a facet of our working committee that focuses on supporting the community, not just with knowledge, but in a most tactile, experiential way. And so what we're starting to do is facilitate prayer circles. And we use different names, prayer circle, chai chat, etc. The idea is people can share what they're going through. Others can listen to what others are going through. In doing so, one feels more ashraya, or supported. Everyone likes to feel supported. Now, an important point in all of this, you can only share what you have. If I'm interacting with a lot of negativity and I don't have any positivity to give, I will also become negative. If you like these ideas of chai chat, ashraya committee, that means you have to be positive. You have to be happy. And this is what we try to do in Meaningful Mornings, is make ourselves stronger, physically, mentally, so we can be strong for others. In our last verse, we continued to hear about the names of the Pandava warriors and their equipments. One name that we came across, Mahabahu. You will come across this name a lot. This is used to describe Prince Arjuna. In this verse, it is not used to describe Prince Arjuna, rather his son, Abhimanyu. I don't want you to be confused about that. Sarvashaha, this is like a closing word in describing the Pandavas. They are all trained. We continue to verse 19, ensuring we're together. We are studying the Mahabharata. You know that, yes? Magnifying our lens on the Bhagavad Gita. Scene 1, Dhritarashtra asks Sanjaya, what is happening in Kurukshetra? You can see and I can't. Scene 2, Sanjaya starts to describe Dhritarashtra's son, Duryodhana, how egotistical he is. Scene 3, is all of this noise. Conches being blown, people revving themselves up. This continues. Saghosho dharta rashtranam hridayani vyadarayat nabhascha prithivim chaiva tumalo vyanunadayan. Saghosha, that sound. All of the Pandavas coming together, roaring, blowing their conches. That sound affected Dhartarashtranam, those associated with Dhritarashtra. In other words, Duryodhana, the Kauravas. The word Dhritarashtra means the one who is to steady the land, to tend to the land. As we get to know Dhritarashtra more, his family more, we come to feel he did the opposite, especially compared to another Raja like Prithu. I explained how Raja Prithu loved the land like his own child. I'm explaining this because what did that sound do to the Kauravas? Hridayani vyadarayat. It caused their hearts to shake, to have palpitations. They panicked. And the reason for this, with every action, there is a result. They're panicking because they know their results are coming to them. Decades of ego and viciousness, the fruition of that is coming to them. Some interpret this word vyadarayat as echo. Their hearts were echoing. That shows a cause-effect relationship. Yes, you can't escape that. And Madhusudana Saraswati has shared, this was not the case with the Pandavas. They also heard roaring and conches, but they were yudhishthira. They were firm in this responsibility. Nabhascha prithivim chaiva, the sound of the Pandavas. This not only shook the hearts of the Kauravas, but also the sky and the ground. Tumulo vyanunadayan, all was reverberating. Like when the T-Rex escapes in Jurassic Park. Correct? You hear the roaring, the ground shakes. So visualize that there's many T-Rexes that are making all shake. For us, whenever we are adharmic, egotistical, vicious, we feel the same way. Internalizing this more. At the end of this chapter, we are going to read the summary of the chapter. And one of the summary terms is Yoga Shastra. This chapter, this text is a Yoga Shastra. In English, this means a scripture of integration. This scripture will guide one to integrating who they are. What is this scripture? It is Sri Krishna's words. Now, in different settings, what comes from Sri Krishna is presented differently. In Bhagavatam, his flute. In poetry, his conch. These words are his conch. a call for us to follow the scripture to integration. If you don't, Shri Krishna, in another hand, has a mace. Can you show me what a mace looks like with your hands? A mace or a gada, I don't even know how to describe this in English. A pillar is a pillar. And the idea is you're not listening to this advice, so you need to be knocked around a little bit, right? On an airplane, if you don't wear your seatbelt, even though they've told you, once that turbulence starts, you put your seatbelt on, correct? The knocking around helps you to be more safe. If you still don't listen to that, still don't follow that, in another hand, show me what Shri Krishna has. That's right. A chakra or a discus. If we don't learn from the knocks in life, then facets of our life will be cut away, particularly the negativity. And this sounds lovely, but what's more lovely is if you let it go rather than it being forced from you. In all cases, the conch or the pillar or the discus in Shri Krishna's last hand is a lotus. This lotus does not symbolize prosperity. We want it to because that's what we want. The truth is, this lotus symbolizes purity to peace. Why purity? Because a lotus grows in dirt. Yet a lotus is not dirty. There's a lot of negativity in our lives. We have to follow the teachings to purity. And the finality of purity is peace, where you don't want anything. You don't need anything. You are the greatest of all time. You are the best you. From inspiration to application. Yesterday's application, how many of you tried? Can you show me? Imagine you're speaking to me. Show me. Let me see your conches. You're all just staring at me. If you blew your conch, or at least envisioned this before you communicated, you would have been more intentional with what you're saying, what you're hearing, correct? These physical actions are to become mental reminders. Okay, so as fun as blowing a conch is, the sound is much deeper, as I explained. Your application for this morning, I want you to rate yourself in terms of being an active listener. 1 is awful. You don't listen to anyone, including yourself. 100 is awesome. You are an active listener. Think about it and then rate yourself. And if you need a reference, ask a family member to rate you also, so that your score is a little bit lower than what you think it is. So more accurate. In terms of announcements, I feel that a lot of us love Bhagavad Gita, and we want to know how to live this more. From March 17th to March 20th, that's 3 weeks from today, Chinmay Mission Portland is organizing a workshop entitled Integrating Gita. How to integrate this sound into our lives. Go to the Chinmay Mission Portland website and register for this workshop. And as I've been sharing, This is not a discourse series, one-way communication. This will be a workshop. Two-way communication with discourses, dynamics, dialogue. This will be special. Be part of it. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.